Let's go ahead and create a mileage log for the service that we performed. Let's go into job processing and let's create a location. So let's have a different scenario. Let's say that I left my home, picked up the consumer, and then we had training. I'm just going to pick a location out of the blue, say Sheets at Poca. So my location is in the system already under my profile. The consumer's address is already in the system via the consumer record. But now I need the address to Sheets, my example company that the consumer is working for. So I need to add a location to the system. So under job processing, I go to locations. And just like all the other forms, I have a list of all my locations and then I can create a location. So let's go ahead and create that sheet in Poca. So the location name, let's just call it Sheets and then Poca. And let's give it a type. So this is a work location. And then let's put an address in here. And I did find their address. And I missed. All right. So we have the location name, the location type, address, so that's the street that it's on, the city, the state, and the zip code. So let's go ahead and save this record. And then you'll return back to the locations list. So you can see the name Sheets Poca, and this is a entity type of work location. So that's it. That you have the location entered into the system, and you'll be able to see this when you enter your mileage log. So going back to job processing, let's go into mileage routes. So this would be a list of all of the mileage records that I've entered into the system. And here we can add mileage. So scroll down a little bit, and then we have these are locations that I can use to build a route. So the first one I have is Job Coach. That is my location. If I didn't need to start there, I could technically put in a location of my starting place. Um, and then I could build it from just locations. But I have it easily set here where I can say, okay, I'm starting at my house. I'm going to go to my consumer's location, and then I'm going to go to the Poca Sheets. That's us getting to the job location. Then I can save this record, or I can continue building it out. Well, I have to take the consumer back to his home, and then I have to go home myself. So by hitting the plus signs, I've added those locations to the route. And you can see that it below, it builds out the route. So first stop is, well, it's not really a stop, it's my starting point. The second stop is the consumer's location. The third location is the Sheets and Poca. Um, the back to the consumers to drop off, and then back to my house. Just a side note here: all of these addresses are business locations, so these are not anyone's home location. So um, okay, so now that I've built out my route, I can go ahead and save this route for later use. So let's go ahead and do that. So in this section here, save current route, and I'm going to give this a name. So I could say Sheets in Poca, and then I could put something like this to my training consumer. Let's just training consumer, the name of the consumer. So it's very detailed so that I can easily find it for the next time I want to use it. So then I want to select a consumer. So I'm going to save that to training consumer, and then I'm going to save this route. So route saved and assigned to consumer. So you can see here that it's populated. Now, if I click this drop down, I would be able to see all the saved routes. I'm going to, let's go and go back up to the dashboard so that we can see what it looks like fresh when I open it. Add mileage. You can see that our form is blank. And let's select that route. And you can see what all populates. And then load. And if we scroll down, you can see that we now have our route back and showing. I can also, let's say I needed to move something. I can easily move something or remove something pretty easily. So let's go ahead and refresh this and get it back to the way we need it to. So now I actually need to take that information and create a mileage log so that it can, uh, I can get paid for that if that is something that your company does, or also log it for billing purposes. So we need to bill the customer. So for training purposes, I'm going to backdate this to September 30th, which you can do in the system. We have this billable mileage. Um, right now, I see the consumer and the authorization because it is a billable record. But if I uncheck billable, the consumer and the authorization goes away. So now I can create a mileage record that will not be billable to our customer. And then we would just need to put in the reason for travel. It's required. So I'm going to go ahead and check billable mileage. I need to put a reason. So depending on your company, how detailed you need to be, we are going to just put here transport consumer to job location. And then we're going to select our consumer and then select the authorization. It will let you know how many miles are left. And if there isn't any miles left, it will show that. And when I am finished, I'm going to go ahead and save mileage log. So now you can see that we have our date, our consumer, the authorization, the number of miles, um, the note, if it's billable or not, if it's been paid. And if it has been paid, we will no longer be able to delete or edit it. But let's go in and see what the edit looks like. So the form opens again. And what area we are able to see here is when the record has been saved and everything updated. So if you needed to change it, you can change the notes, go ahead and maybe change the route and then save the mileage log. All right, so let's go ahead and move back to our mileage log. So that concludes the mileage log training.